Of course, the old adage that tragedy plus time equals comedy. What if it's tragedy with no time having elapsed? What do you get then?
Yeah, the time has been getting shorter and shorter, I think. We've had to change the recipe, get some catalysts in there to get the jokes out as quickly as possible. But yeah, I like going to see comedy really helps because I think when you're in that room and you're with other people and you're laughing, it's cathartic. You have a tendency to you can get a little bit lonely if you're just reading the news by yourself on your phone at home or in bed. And so I really love the feeling of live comedy. I've been trying to do as much of that as possible, and it helps.
Is it different in these? I mean, you're performing in front of a Canadian audience. Is it different performing in front of a Canadian audience? These days over the past, I don't know, couple of months. Yeah,
I think overall I've noticed a little bit more of a bump. Like I think people are. It's been nice. Like the Buy Canadian movement is sort of shifting as well into a Watch Canadian, which I really like. People are starting to support Canadian artists a little bit more. And it's been good.
Are you nominated for a Juno?
I am, yes.
For your comedy record.
Yeah.
Huh. Isn't a comedy record? I mean, I won't say what we used to have in my house when I was growing up. Comedy records by people that we don't talk about anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. But at the time they were funny. That's kind of a cool idea, a comedy album.
Yeah, I really like it. Because the audio format is good. People love the podcasting world and all that stuff, and so I think it's great to put together. To me, I think that was my first exposure to stand-up as well, was listening to these comedy records. And it's really fun for me to get to make the record as a whole, you listen to it from start to finish. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, it's, you can have a tendency because of the rate at which you push out content now to put things together in a quick, just like a bunch of jokes you've put in a line with not really any specific thread. Whereas I've always enjoyed putting together the album in a way that has an overarching narrative and structure and then as well filled with jokes. It's a very fun thing to put together for me.
And I mean, being a Juno Award winner, you're up there with all. I mean, is that kind of wild for a comedian to be walking away with a Juno?
Yeah, it's very cool.
You and Nickelback.
Yeah, I know. I got to meet Fred Penner back in 2018. It was very fun. It's very cool to get to see all of these sort of people that I've been watching and listening to since I was a kid.
What are you using as a source of inspiration these days for your material? Because you've always been the sort of, number one, I mean, you're kind of famous for being a clean comic, which is always appreciated. That might change now that you have children.
Yeah, we'll see.
Might start swearing more.
Certainly in my private life.
But where are you going for material these days?
I'm trying to stay kind of as... I think people, the way that they're inundated with a lot of the controversial topics, shall we say, it can be a little bit cathartic to hear jokes about that. That's never really been my area of expertise, so I'm sort of staying in the micro, frustrating, those smaller things like, trying to eat cereal or stand in line or... I've been bringing it back to air travel. That's been a subject for comedians for a while.
Until lately, not so much.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. My daughter arrived in Toronto on Tuesday night and texted me and said, "My plane landed right side up." And I
That's
thought,
good.
Oh, okay. There's a thing. But the observational stuff. I mean, when I started following you, you made me laugh just for like goofy things that happened every day, like the machine that has no name. I try to explain that bit to people, and I can't do it justice. And I'm online trying to find it for them. They go, "No, it's so funny. No, there's no talking on the journey." Like, and I mean that kind of stuff is really it's great because it's just one of those things we all feel, we all think about. None of us actually say out loud.
Yeah, I know. That's what I love finding, are the things that I think I'm the only one that imagines this or focuses on this or thinks about it. And then when I get people who tell me, "Oh, yeah, I think about that too. I didn't even know. I thought I was the only one." So it's been very fun to get to bring that to people and have them come to me with it too.
And I used to work in the restaurant business, and I have had to take people on the journey past the leaking pipes. And downstairs. Yeah. It's great to meet you face to face. Thank you so much for coming in, and good luck with the gig this weekend.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Ivan Decker, part of Just For Laughs Vancouver, playing 2 shows tomorrow night at the Cultures York Theatre over on Commercial Drive.